All right, so let's try this again. Hello guys. This is Em here with my 33-month Loc update. I may look in the wrong place because I had to turn my camera sideways and balance it on a shelf, but I think we're good. I think everything's okay, and I can show you guys my locks. The main thing is that you guys can see how they're doing and hear the updates that I wanted to share. So here you go. My actual lock anniversary, my 33-month lock anniversary was actually on January 9th. So I am extremely late. But as promised, I said I was going to put out a video every single month, and here I am. So I'm doing it. I'm also excited because I can finally record a video without time constraints. I have a new camera to record my updates on, a new location to record my videos on. So I'm very excited. So now I can really like dig into the things I want to talk about and share with you guys. And please forgive me if like the camera has issues focusing my personality, my movement. I think I'm very animated when I talk sometimes, so I'm trying to like keep myself a little more centered so it doesn't lose focus too often. As you guys can see, the length is coming through. And I wanted to start off, actually, I want to kick this off by answering the questions from Divine Black Crown and Zandria 20. So you guys had some great questions for me, so I want to get started by answering those questions. The first one was an update on my moisturizing routine. And for me, the moisturizing routine is actually very simple. I simply just make sure that my locks are wet. So wet them with water, or this may be also, of course, also with water right after I've washed my hair. So my hair will already be wet, and then I'll just, make sure to coat my locks with, I actually use castor oil and follow it up with a scented oil. Castor oil, I like it because it just does, so, I just feel like it has this thickness to it that I feel like does a great job of sealing in the moisture from the water, and I find that feeling lasts for a while, and it just like has such a healthy feeling to it. So because it's winter right now, it's very snowy outside, and very dry. I will have to moisturize more frequently than I normally would, but I find that this has worked for me, and it's very simple. For me, that was hard to accept at first, having come from having relaxed hair, then moving towards getting to locks eventually. It was hard for me to accept the simplicity of having locks, but it's like it really has been that simple for me, and it's been working. So I find that to be the easiest thing. I know some people feel different ways about castor oil. It has the one I use in particular, it has like a I don't know how to say, like a scent, almost like it reminds me of like trees. I don't know why it reminds me of like a trees. Like if you like pull off a piece of the bark, it like reminds me of like that scent, but it goes away after, for at least for me, it went away after a few minutes, and then the scent of my hair is like dominated by whatever fragrance I added in, whatever oils, typically lavender oil, whatever I added in, and that actually works really nicely with my hair. Or also my hair typically smells like the shampoo that I use, which is another thing I wanted to add in. I actually, for shampoos, I've been using, I typically like to use the Trader Joe's Tea Tree Tingle shampoo, just because it was cheap, it was there, it's easy for me to get. So I kept it very simple. I know when I first started my journey, I was using Dr. Bronner soap for a long time. I just didn't like that over time. I was starting to notice like it, the buildup can be high no matter how much I diluted it. And my hair likes to just soak in things. So my locks would almost get like white a little bit. So I just found it a lot easier just to kind of set that aside. I haven't given up on Dr. Bronner soap. I'll probably use it once in a while, but I have not used it in at least 6 months. And I also don't stress too much about the kind of shampoos that I use. I think when I first started, I was a little more worried about that. But now I'm not too worried, as long as it's nothing too crazy. But I do try and keep it simple and as consistent as I can. But I forget to get things at the store. I forget to go to Trader Joe's or something like that. And so then I just have to use whatever is available at the local pharmacy, the pharmacy or whatever. So that simple as that. But typically, yeah, I do try to keep with that Trader Joe's consistently. So for the next question was about lint management and how do I deal with lint? So for me, number one, I understand that lint is just a part of having locks, and like your locks, you know, for me at least, my locks like to attract lint. They like to attract things like that. If I can see it, I will remove it. If I can see the lint, I'll take it out for sure. I note to check. I think I just naturally think to check for lint probably once a month. Typically, like for the front, I'll notice. The back is harder, and it's hard for me to really notice things like that. So I'll notice, like, even if I lift my hair up, I can see a lot more lint and build up in things in the, like, towards the back of my hair. The front, the top is not as bad. Also, obviously, because the material, whatever material I'm wearing or whatever rubbing against my neck and things like that, that will also stand out a little bit. But for me, that's okay. That reminds me, there's a quick sidebar. There's a story I wanted to share. I was in a changing room or a fitting room, and I went to go pick up something off the ground. And when I went to pick something up, my hair snagged on one of those hooks, and I heard this rip sound, and then I felt pain, and then I felt devastation because it ripped 2/3 of my locks. This lock here ripped out, and I ended up having all of this loose hair from the part that still remained, the part of the lock that still remained, and then loose hair from the root. So what I ended up doing after I had an emotional meltdown, which I don't know, I just feel so connected to these locks. It just broke my heart. I felt like I let them down. But anyway, what I ended up doing is I braided. I took the hair from there, and I took the hair from the lock itself. I took the hair from the root, and I braided it. So now it's actually back to being a full lock, kind of. But you can see right here is where you see that thick part right there. That's where it kind of mainly got broken off. So anyway, I still feel so bad about doing that to my locks. But and that was actually the first time anything major had happened to my locks. It's been fairly uneventful. I haven't had anything crazy happen with my locks before. I also think, like, at my length of hair, I wouldn't expect much to happen. I could imagine, like, if my hair was like halfway down my back, I guess I could picture that, but I didn't think about it. So it kind of taught me to be cautious, be very aware of what I'm doing, and just note that the locks can get into mess. But I actually didn't learn my lesson, because then about 2 weeks ago, I was painting the house, and I got paint all in my back locks. So I have like 6 locks with like some white paint on it here and there. It's not all over. It's like little splotches. I did do an ACV rinse, which I do once every 4 months. I do our AC rinse, and I actually found that to be very helpful for the locks themselves, and getting them kind of getting anything extra and kind of cleansing out the locks as well. I find that to be so helpful, and it's also something therapeutic about that. I don't know what it is, just like getting rid of anything extra that I don't need or something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, so yeah, I can't believe it. I'm always a clumsy mess. I just fell down the stairs yesterday, and I accept that as a part of life, but I did not want to hurt my babies. And I'm hoping that they forgive me. Whatever. I'm getting all emotional. But no, it's all good. And honestly, now I just know to be extra alert, and I hope I've learned my lesson since I've had 2 incidences. I hope that I've learned my lesson, and will make sure to put my hair up whenever I'm doing something, or I just need to remember, because that's the biggest thing for me. I get so excited about doing something, I just forget. But for me, just a word of warning. I don't like to give advice about other people's locks, but I just would recommend maybe look out for your locks if you're doing anything around the house. If you're near hooks, be careful. That's all I'm saying. Just be careful. So I know I jumped on a couple things. I did mention the ACV. I did want to go back to that for a quick second. I do find them very helpful. I keep it very simple, and I use the warm water, ACV, baking soda, and actually it makes my locks feel so light, And I do notice a change in the watercolor when I've done it. So I really feel like it gets a lot of that extra stuff that shampoo just doesn't quite, where shampoo doesn't quite cut it. And it really helps get at that extra stuff. So I find it to be very helpful. And yeah, it's been working well for me. Okay, so anyway, back to the questions. This is another question from Divine Black Crown. I know you asked about the retwist, how I do my retwist. So I'm going to try and walk you through this without actually doing a retwist. But if my demonstration is not helpful, please message me below, and I will make sure the next time I retwist my hair, I will record my how I actually retwist my hair. I'll record it like in real time so you can see exactly how I do it and see the effects like right then and there. So anyway, so what I'll do is I'll take a lock and I'll just pinch the root a little bit. I'll just like get a little pinch there, and then I'll like kind of just from there, I'll just do a twist there, and then I'll retwist. Then I can move my hands up and retwist it a little bit, and then I hold that lock. I hold that lock there with my fingers, and I do the same thing with the next one. So I'll pinch it and then like twist it a little bit, then finish twisting it up near the top. And I'll do the same with all of them. Pinch, twist, then twist, slight pinch, just to get the roots. That's why I do the pinch. I just am like trying to like just get in like anything loose around there and just pull that in and twist that in and then go from there. I will do that until I have 4, in groups of 4. And then what I'll do is this. I will do a 4-strand braid. And I hope this is actually helpful. I'll do a 4-strand braid like so. And then I use my own locks to tie the hair at the end. So let me show you. So I'll tie it. This usually isn't this hard. Usually my hair is like slightly wet when I do it. And then I tie it like this. Something I did want to note though, when I am retwisting, I'm making sure that my roots are wet with water, and then I'll do the retwist. And then after that, what I'll do is I'll coat near the roots with some castor oil. I like it because it gives it a shine, also gives a little moisturizing along the way. And then I just do that all over my head. Trying to make sure the camera's focusing again. Okay, I think it's focused. So then I'll just do that. And then once they're dry or semi-dry or something like that, I can sit under, sometimes I've sat under a dryer, just one of those that you pull over your head. And if it's summertime, then I can go in the backyard or something like that, and just, you know, I have these braids all over my head, but it's better than walking around with clips, you know, like how you'd have to use like the silver clips. I find this the most helpful. It requires no equipment whatsoever, aside from your hands. So I find that to be the easiest way. I've done that all over. I've been retwisting my hair that way for a while, at least for a year, maybe longer, with including doing the braiding. Just once my hair was long enough for me to just use my own hair to like kind of not tie it, but kind of tie the ends. So I found that to be helpful, and I'll do that all over. So please, if anybody wants to see a demonstration, but particularly Divine Black Crown, who asked the question, please feel free to ask for a demonstration at the bottom, and I'll make sure to do an actual demonstration moving forward. So as far as anything else, again, I just kind of been playing around with styles, and again, I apologize that I didn't have enough room on my phone to really do like style videos. But now, if there's anything that you guys want, that you'd like to see, feel free to message me below, and I'll be sure to I can address that now that I have room on my camera. So I'm really excited about that. And let's see, I do have some other videos coming up that I'm going to be doing, so look out for those. They should be coming sometime within the next 2 weeks, and yeah, I'm excited about that. And I also just wanted to say, for those of you who may be early in your journey, and those of you who are just starting, I'm trying to make sure I'm looking at hopefully I'm looking somewhere near the camera. For those of you who are just starting out on your journeys, or you're early in the journey and everything, or thinking about it, I just hope that you all will stay, you know, if this is like the journey that you want to do, that I hope that you stay encouraged. I know for me, when I first started the journey, something someone had told me, I was talking to someone about locks and like how I was still early in the journey, and like I was walking around with my comb coils and everything like that. And I'm like, I just want to be able to have like lock jewelry and just like have my hair loose and wear it in bows and or hair ties and stuff like that. And I was so excited. But and then someone was like, "Oh, well, just be patient." And it's like that's not as easy as It's not as easy as said, you know. And for me, the big thing that I just in reflection, this is kind of just me sharing my thoughts. The biggest thing was that I was committed to the process. It wasn't about me not being frustrated or anything like that. I think frustration is okay because this is an unusual journey. Like there's not many things that people do with at least I don't know. Nothing that immediately comes to mind where, you know, it would take so long for you to get to where you want to go with your hair. Not many people are not many people. I can't think of other hairstyles that would require the kind of patience that I feel like having locks requires, or the commitment. Really, for me, again, I don't even think it was patience so much as commitment. Maybe it's the same thing, kind of. But I do hope. I know for me, I do hope that you guys like. I hope that eventually, like, you just reach that point, like how I did. I know I started to just be excited about every stage. Every stage, like it just naturally happened. I wasn't like, oh, I gotta be patient. I gotta be patient. It's like, well, it's okay if I'm frustrated. I can just go on YouTube and I can look at people who have dealt with this frustration before, who have been through this journey, and seeing like, wow, it really has paid off for them. And freak out moments, I allow myself to have freak out moments. I feel like that's a natural part of the journey. So if you do freak out, you do that. I mean, I feel like as long as when you're committed to the journey, like it's okay. Like you know, I just felt like it worked out, and it's been so rewarding, and I have absolutely no regrets. I love my locks. I still love them. For those of you guys who saw me in the early days when I was first doing the lock videos, you guys know I was excited, and I am just as excited now because there's always something new going on. Like there's, you know, and the locks have their own unique look. So it's like, you know, what are they going to do? Like, what are they going to look like in a year? And even now, I don't even know what they're going to look like in a year. They don't look, the way they look now is not what I expected them to look like a year ago. And it's so exciting. It's like, you know, you're just, you know, you're unraveling a mystery almost here. And it's so cool because no one knows what they're going to be like. So I just find it to be so exciting. And I really do, I hope some part of that made sense. And I do hope you find some encouragement along the way. If this is really what you want, I really hope that you find that encouragement. I hope you find encouragement here. And again, like, feel free to reach out to me if you guys are early in your journeys or wherever you are in your journey. I hope that you do feel encouragement. But I just feel very confident, and like this has been a very, very effortless. I just got back from Italy a few weeks ago, and I just was thinking, like, when I was in Italy, I was like, man, when I first started traveling, for me, it was weird because I really did have to be so conscious about my hair. I was to go through the process, to go through the routine of making sure my hair was together and everything like that. It was a lot more effort. But this is so effortless, and it's made travel a lot easier. I got caught in the rain, not often because it didn't seem to rain that much. But I got caught in the rain here and there, and it's just like I wasn't worried about my locks. Like, my locks are fine; they thrive in rain. Rain actually helps them lock more. You know, it's like it's kind of perfect. Before, I would have to like run somewhere, and it took away from my experience, for me be able to see different things that I wanted to see. And it's like I didn't travel that far across the world to be stuck in a building looking out at the rain and not seeing anything. It's like, but I don't know. I mean, granted, I could get an umbrella, but I don't know. It's still, there's the humidity thing that I always had to worry about and all those different things. And I don't know. Having locks, like, I actually was able to really embrace it. And when the rain hits, it's just, it's great. So anyway, I'm rambling a little bit, but I'm enjoying having the extra time to do that. So anyway, I hope to hear from you guys. Please feel free to comment below. I hope you guys could see everything okay. I'll give you another look at my locks. Hopefully you can see them well. All right. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. And for those of you guys who are patient, and again, I'm sorry. Sorry for the short videos in the past, but I'm back and ready to actually do, hopefully, at least more natural updates, not rushed updates. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk with you guys very soon. Goodbye.